men's volleyball contest, matching MPSF member, the 7th ranked Pepperdine Waves. And representing the Big West Conference, your 3rd ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Introducing the Pepperdine Waves starting lineup. At center, 6'6" junior from Gornje Milanovac, Serbia, number 5, Andre Polomac. At libero, 6' senior from Cypress, Texas, number 6, Jacob Riley. And opposite, 6'11" sophomore from Barrington, Illinois, number 10, Cole Harkey. At middle blocker, 6'8" junior from Sunnyvale, California, number 12, Ethan Watson. At outside hitter, 6'5" senior from West Hampton Beach, New York, floor captain number 14, Ryan Barnett. And outside hitter, 6'4" sophomore from Trinidad, Cuba, number 22, Jose Gomez. And the middle blocker, 6'7" junior from Newport Beach, California, number 26, James Eady. Assistant coach, Will Kraft. Associate head coaches, Matthew Pollock and Luke Reynolds. Head coach for the Waves, Jonathan Winder.
I'm seeing that water. I'm seeing it come out the way. Look at me past the water. I'm sitting on the river. It's on me, I'm a cutter. She trying to be part of my schedule. I told her to come back tomorrow. I've been feeling myself all day. I told her to come out. Pieces all on my lips. You know I can't kiss no hope.
And now, meet and greet the starting lineup for your Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And opposite, 6'10" sophomore from Kailua, Oahu, number 4, Kailua Waves. And outside hitter, 6'5" sophomore from Lyon, France, number 7, Adrian Ward. And middle blocker, 6'8" sophomore from Houston, Texas, number 9, Justin Todd. And middle blocker, 6'10" sophomore from Mesa, Arizona, number 20, Jamel Jordan. And libero, 5'8" junior from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, number 22, Quinton Greenwich. And outside hitter, 6'5" junior from Paris, France, number 23, Louis Sakanoko. And at center, 6'11" junior from Austin, Texas, floor captain, number 30, Trent Rosenthal. Assistant coaches Donan Cruz and Chad Giesman. Associated coach Kupono Fei. Head coach for your Rainbow Warriors, Charlie Wade.
Despite out-hitting, out-digging, and out-blocking the opposition, the Rainbow Warrior Volleyball team's 11-match win streak came to an end Wednesday at the hands of Pepperdine. In tonight's Hanaho rematch, Hawaii will have to find a way to slow down Waves Oppo Cole Hartke, nation's most prolific hitter, who went for a match-high 24 kills in the four-setter. Coming up, the 7th-ranked Pepperdine Waves and the number 3 Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Let's run it back. And with that, we welcome you inside Banco Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Kanoa Leahy sitting next to Chris McLaughlin. C-Mac, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Hartke enough. Cole Hartke, Pepperdine's 6'11" opposite, had 24 Pepperdine's 53 kills, but he will also need help tonight from his Gomez and Barnett, his other 2-pin hitters. And for Hawaii, Waves okay, Tsunami's not. The 6-2 Tsunami by Pepperdine at the end of set 1 on Wednesday was crushing. So was the 542 kill percentage in set 4. Avoiding those Tsunamis, key to winning tonight.
And so it will be Pepperdine serving first. Hanaho rematch. Good-looking crowd here on hand for this Friday matchup, and the first set goes to the middle, and Travell Jordan, that was certainly a point of emphasis for Hawaii, to be better in serve receive, and on that first offering, they were on the money. Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineup scrolling at the bottom of your screen. Justin Todd once again getting the start at the other middle position. As Tread Rosenthal serves it across. And Pepperdine goes to its middle. James Eady, 6'7" redshirt junior from Newport Beach, California, averaging just over a kill per set, hitting .480. They do not set the middles a ton, so it's interesting that we saw on each side to start this match 2 middle hits.
Oh, no. There's 2 good passes, that's why. There's a pass off the net, though.
Here's right side, Adrian Rohr, and that is a welcome sight. The 6'5" sophomore from Lyon, France, 10 kills the other night, 7 errors, hit a .120. Did have 3 aces, but it was well below his efficiency standard, hitting .409 on the year coming in. And
happy birthday with that swing.
It is his birthday. 20th birthday for Adrian. Back row set, the one-hand shoulder dig there by Quentin Greenwich, and Hawaii able to extend the sequence. Outside, this is Jose Gomez. And how good was he the other night? The 6'4" sophomore from Trinidad, Cuba, 11 kills, just 2 errors. He had .450. And he was able to pulverize that set.
A year and a half ago, he couldn't speak any English. Now pretty fluent and doing well in class, 3.3.
Yeah, Pepperdine not the easiest school to get into, especially when English is your second language, as Louis Sakanoko hits it out. And the Waves take the early advantage, 3 serving 2. Hawaii coming in 14-2. That loss on Wednesday, just their 2nd of the season. Snapped an 11-match win streak. Pepperdine improved to 11-3. Here is Jordan hanging and banging.
Oh, big mismatch up there between Jordan and Ethan Watson. It's like, and plus you have Tread Rosenthal at 6'11" setting the ball. It's like they're in another floor.
Outside, this is Gomez, cross court and wide. Was there a touch? No touch. And so Hawaii leapfrogs ahead here. As you see, Jonathan Winder, 4th season atop this program, signed a contract extension in January to take him through the 2030 season. 2025 MPSF Coach of the Year. They had a fantastic run a season ago. A couple of jousts above the tape, and now Adrian Rohr wipes the hands, sets up his fellow Frenchman, and Sakanoko deposits it in the deep corner.
Ooh, he found the only open spot. How did Louis do that? He had 2 good blockers up, waiting for him, but he found the open spot in the back row. Nice swing.
You see Charlie Wade, year 17. They were 14-1 coming into the week. 7th time in the last 8 years that Hawaii started 14-1, which is a remarkable statistic. Another good-looking swing there by Gomez off the hands and down. So here is Cole Hartke, the 6'11" sophomore from Barrington, Illinois, behind the line to serve. He's the team leader in aces and was virtually unstoppable at times on Wednesday. He had 11 of his 24 kills in that 4th set. What a pass there by Greenwich. Outside Louis. An absolute A-bomb from Louis Sakonoko.
Is that what you call a detonation? Oh my goodness. By the way, Hawaii served the first 2 balls to a really good passer, Jacob Riley. The last 2, they've served Gomez. Let's see what they go to here. I say stay away from Riley. What do you think?
The serve by Kainoa Wade goes into the net. Yeah, it seemed like as the match went on, Hawaii got caught in the rut of serving to the middle of the floor. The serving maybe was just so shaky to force them to have to be a little bit less surgical with it. And man, Jacob Riley stepped up and he was fantastic in serve receive, as Greenwich is exhibiting here early in this match. He's got the cover there off of the block as well. Wade going high hands, and now the Waves in transition. D-set Archie blocked, punched up in the air. Riley the chase down, and a swing for Barnett, but he gets roofed.
What a rally. Lots of powerful swings. The best part though, great blocking on both sides.
It was Justin Todd and Tread Rosenthal, one of the more formidable blocks that Hawaii has to offer. 7 serving 5, it's Louis. Skips off the tape, Riley the pass. Back row, and there is Jose Gomez. They like the work that he does on that big set. And it is now Pepperdine 6 serving 7.
Once again, Riley just passing way too many balls. He's such a good passer. Winder called him the best passer in the country last year.
Yeah, he said analytically he actually was. Behind the head, middle set, and Todd able to ricochet it off of the hands and down. Justin Todd and Travell Jordan had the exact same hitting line in Wednesday's match. They were both 4 kills on 8 swings, 1 error. They both hit .375. See the season numbers for Todd.
You know, Rosenthal hit, he hit 667.
D-set, hard key. Oh, and it was played off of the net. And the initial save there by Todd, but another example of just how hard Hardkey hits.
Now Hardkey is going to the front row. That'll change the dynamics a little bit on the Pepperdine side.
And he might be the hardest hitter in college volleyball. Greenwich pops it straight up in the air. Rosenthal goes D-sets away, 2 blockers against him, and they deny it. And Pepperdine has drawn even, so Kainoa Wade with the hitting error. Had the slow start the other night, if you recall, and then in sets 3 and 4 went berserk.
Yeah.
And was almost able to help lead Hawaii into a 5th set. 2 of the sets the other night went to deuces. Here's the back row to Sakonoko, and the Pepperdine wall was up. 3 blockers.
Trent Rosenthal's thinking, ooh, I should have set the outside. There's 2 blockers just waiting there. Nobody had to move. Actually, 3 blockers were up.
Well, that's 3 straight points here for the Waves. You alluded to it in the keys. They come at you in waves. You can't let it develop into a full-blown tsunami, and that service error by the setter Andre Polomats that helps the Hawaii cause, and we're tied again at 9. Went to extra points in the 1st and 4th sets the other night. Pepperdine went up 2-0. Hawaii able to respond. They won 25-15 in the 3rd before losing 30-28 in set 4. Hardkey, what a dig there by Greenwich. Roar sets up Wade against 3 blockers. They're able to slow him down. Polomats goes back row, the tip into the net by Gomez. And Hawaii steps in front. Back and forth we go. Teams trading blows here. A seesaw set 1.
And you notice that Rosenthal went away from the middle of the court, not serving Riley. Instead, he went to Barnett.
Here's Rosenthal, recorded his 100th career ace the other night. Hardkey from the left side. Access denied.
You notice 2 solid blockers up, Kanoa. That was one of their goals tonight, was to make sure they got 2 solid blockers up, maybe even 3 on Cole Hardkey at all times. Nice move by Travell Jordan to get out there quickly.
11 serving 9. Hawaii has scored the last 3. Good serve again down the line by Rosenthal. Backside set, a little off the mark. Diving save, Greenwich. And it's going to be a violation against Pepperdine. They're going to say the ball was on the Hawaii side of the net and Hardkey reached across. And so Hawaii gets the point. They're on a 4-point run. Timeout, Pep. A little pep in Hawaii's step so far tonight. The local sports you love, plus news and weather that matter most to you and your community, available on all your favorite devices. Well, the mission tonight was for fans to wear green. We got a good amount of green in the stands and a good amount of fans here in the arena as well. Hawaii has scored the last 4 out of the timeout. It's Tread Rosenthal, 12 serving 9. Down the line, another great serve. Pepperdine out of system from behind the line. That's Barnett. Guarding the back line was Louis. Middle set, Jordan. Oh, he pumps it long. And there was no touch. Missed opportunity there for Hawaii, but I think Charlie Wade's going to issue a challenge. So perhaps it won't be a missed opportunity, depending on how this goes. We saw a lot of challenges a couple of nights ago. So the challenge is that there was, in fact, a touch. Dixon Chun, the R1. There's Mark Nakashima down on the floor. He'll be conducting the reviews. Kerwin Stenstrom and Kevin Chun, the 2 line judges. Your thoughts on what we've seen here, this first segment of the opening frame, as far as energy and what has stood out to you so far?
I'm surprised that Hawaii has made 3 hitting errors. Pepperdine, though, has had 5 hitting errors, 5 kills. They're hitting 0-0-0. And there's the swing. Let's see if we can see a little touch here or not. Right there, I think, was the touch. Yeah.
Ooh.
Remember, it's a little bit fuzzy, but if you have astigmatism like me, you can see it very clearly that there's a touch.
So you're calling touch here, huh? See that?
I am. Right about almost there.
All right, maybe this will help. I didn't really see the finger bent back in that last angle, and
that one there doesn't show any finger bending back.
Nothing that seems too distinguishable at the very least.
I think you're right, Cano. I think you're right.
Look how high up Travell Jordan is, by the way. I mean, he's head and shoulders above the net there.
He's 6'10". He touches 12 feet.
All right, so a failed challenge. The call's going to stand. And so the point goes to Pepperdine. And Charlie Wade will have 2 remaining challenges after that unsuccessful attempt. So here is Ryan Barnett, the 6'5" redshirt senior, was a first-team All-American last year. Had 13 kills on 30 swings, hit .233 the other night. Had a pair of aces too, though. 10 serving 12. Pass by Rohr is a decent one. Cross court, it goes to Wade, skips it off the hand, saved by Barnett. So the set shoots outside, and a nice off-speed there by Jose Gomez.
Gomez, used to play for the Cuban national team up until a couple of years ago. And their philosophy was hit hard all the time. When he came to Pepperdine, Coach Winders taught him how to use a lot of different shots. And you saw one right there.
Rosenthal goes back row. Here's Louis. Off the block, it's saved by Barnett. Outside, this is Hardkey. Sliding save there by Sakanoko. Oh, the set hovers above the net, so now it winds up on the Wave side. They go middle, and plugging it past the resistance is Edie. And so the 4th-year Wave, who was an AVCA All-American honorable mention a season ago, able to knot this first set up at 12.
You know who his favorite athlete is? Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
How about that?
Oh, what a cut shot there by Barnett. That's his 25th ace of the season. And he helped to set a certain tone from the service line on Wednesday. And that was at the very beginning of set 1. Here we are about midway through, and he's starting to do the same.
I think he's bringing the heat here. No, it's an easy one.
Oh, look at Greenwich diving for that one. Wade the full swing. He sends it out. And Pepperdine now up by 2. They have scored the last 5. And Hawaii in a sticky rotation right now.
Wade not hitting many times on the left over the course of a match. 95% of his balls he hits on the right, so maybe he's a little uncomfortable out there.
Oh, there's the heater, forces the overpass. Oh, but the setup by Barnett ends up being ripe for the taking for Travell Jordan. That may have even been an out ball played there by Ryan Barnett. He tried to go with the two hands, and he ended up setting up Trey across the way. 13 serving 14. Hawaii needed that break. Great pass by Riley. Middle set. There's Edie. Dug up by Rosenthal. So the bump set goes to Wade. Off the block and down. And Kainoa Wade with his first kill of the festivities.
It was a good swing. That block was waiting there for him. Ripe and ready to just stuff it back down. Instead, he did a nice job of just powering it through the block.
There's War. Again, they go right to Riley, and he handles it well. Hartke dug up by War. It's going to wind up near the scorer's table, centered by Sakonoko, and we play on. Set goes backside. Hartke again. One hand saved by Wade. War goes to Louis, and he's able to tool the block. It is so hard to stop Hartke that when Hawaii does it, this place pops off. Timeout. Long's Drugs, the number is 4. 4 opponents out of 66 that have a winning all-time record versus Hawaii. And the 4 right there, a murderer's row in men's volleyball, right? BYU, Long Beach State, Pepperdine, and UCLA. As far as this series is concerned, you see the advantage. Pepperdine now 45-38. They won in 4 just a couple of nights ago. It was Pepperdine's first win in this building, though, since 2009.
It's a long time.
Out of the timeout, another diving pass by Riley. Left side, Gomez. Forget about it. Kainoa Wade says, "Aole," and Hawaii has scored the last 4.
I think Adrian Rohr's got to move his serve around. He's either got to serve down the line to Gomez, across court to Barnett, but he got to keep it away from the best passer. There he did. Just see what happened. He got a bad pass.
Hartke, that one saved by Rosenthal. So the back bump set Louis. Oh, it drifted over, but kept up by Hawaii. Wade, the quick reset. And he unleashes down the line. And Hawaii is playing some defense right now here in set 1.
You know, it all started with the serve. Once that serve went away from Riley, look what happened. The pass went off, drew the setter off the net, and Pepperdine was all out of sorts. What a back bump set that time. Was a little bit over by Greenwich, but look at the set going out there right where Kainoa Wade loves it.
How about Travell Jordan keeping that one up with the left hand there? Bump set, big swing. It's Ford Harmon. He got smothered, but they keep it alive on the Wave side. Hartke blocked. Now they're going to go cross court. Harmon again, fresh into the match. What a cover there by Barnett. Hartke sends it out. And Hawaii up front saying, "Thou shalt not pass." But we are going to have a challenge, as I think Jonathan Winder is going to challenge that ball was in. It was called out.
How about Hawaii's block tonight, Kanoa? There's just, it's so together, so tight. Pepperdine attackers having trouble getting around it.
It was impenetrable on that sequence. Does this ball catch a piece of that deep corner?
Now, how can he see it from there? Huh? You tell me. Does Jonathan Winder have telescopic vision?
Well, he was pretty good with the challenges the other night. He won his first 3.
He was.
And that one is awfully close. What say you, C-Mac?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. That could go either way.
Yeah, is there anything that's conclusive enough to overturn the call? Remember, they have some other camera angles as well.
Yeah, I wonder if he has different camera angles, he will absolutely use them, because that's too close to call.
This actually, despite it still being somewhat early in this first set. Still a lot of points to be played, but this feels like right now a pretty big call coming up, because if Hawaii maintains this run and momentum and they're able to run away here in this first set, that is quite the statement made here by the Rainbow Warriors, looking for a bounce-back performance.
Yeah, if they lose this challenge, it becomes a 17-15 game, a 2-point game, as opposed to 18-14, a 4-point game. This is a big call. We'll see.
All right, Mark Nakashima has made a determination, and he calls it in. Another successful challenge by Winder.
Winder's on fire. 2 nights in a row. He's made good calls.
And Cole Hartke gets the kill just by a hair or two. Now a serving sub, and this will get some people in the stands fired up. Aiden Toon, the Punahou graduate, son of former UH and Pepperdine standout and Punahou head volleyball coach Rick Toon. Jonathan Winder just raves about the quality of player and member of the team that Aiden Toon is. He says he's a coach's dream.
First in the gym, last to leave.
Greenwich with a good pass. Setup goes to Wade, cross court. Toon, what a job keeping it in. And we play on here in the sequence. Advantage Hawaii. Backside, Wade. Straight down to the floor.
Pepperdine with a smallish block there with Fort Harmon up front. Here's a great save that time by Aiden Toon, going into the little local boy going into the audience. And there's basically Wade is at 6'10" or 6'11", is going up against Fort Harmon, a mere 6-footer.
Yeah,
Not fair.
Wade, who hit 350 the other night, still well below his season average percentage of .439. And Magnus Hedervik, the freshman setter, as the serving sub. And Hawaii unable to keep that one up off of the floor, as the set went to Ethan Watson, the 6'8" redshirt junior from Sunnyvale, California. So 16 serving 18. And the Waves still very much involved here in the first.
So if you want to watch a separate game going on right now, watch the liberos. Both of them are really putting on a show, passing, digging, leading their teams to greatness in each rally.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets between these two libs. Hartke to serve. Into the string. And now it'll be Kainoa Wade's turn to try and see if he can apply some pressure from the service line. Hawaii hitting .261 here in the first frame. .094 the number for the Waves. That one popped up in the air by Harmon. D-set Hartke down the line, dug up over the net by Greenwich. Waves go back to Hartke again, down the line, and this time too hot to handle, as Hartke put some extra sauce on that attempt.
What a swing. 6'11", coming in hard out of the back row, hitting that D-set with one blocker up.
Second team All-American last year, the MPSF Freshman of the Year. Yes, he's just a sophomore. As that one skips off the net and out there by Harmon.
By the way, with Hartke, it's very simple, Kanoa. You can't do it with one blocker. You need 2 blockers or 3 blockers, and you need 3 ladders. And then you got it done.
It's as easy as that.
Yeah.
There's Sakanoko. Oh, what a serve. Long run here for Polomats. Sets up Barnett, and he's able to work it around the triple block and down in front of a diving Greenwich.
There's some senior savvy right there. He had a bunch of those shots the other night. He just has great peripheral vision. He knows that there's a third blocker up there, so he's going to go toward where that third blocker was coming. And a lot of open court there.
Here's Zach Chapin, southpaw server. Down the line it goes. Sakanoko with the first touch. Now Rohr skips it off the fingertips. And over on 2, it was well read there by Greenwich. Outside, Rohr tries to push it down the line. Pump set, drifts over the net. And a low-hanging fruit there for Tread Rosenthal.
Thank goodness for Greenwich. Look at this play right here. Pops it up, keeps it alive. And there's the end of the play here coming up, where it was an overpass and Rosenthal took advantage.
5 digs already for Greenwich. Finn Kearney on to serve for Hawaii. Barnett slowed down by the block. Kearney there on the save. Middle set. Jordan stays on the Hawaii side. Rosenthal will swing on 2. Calls his own number.
Well, you know, Kanoa, he had 6 kills, 0 errors, and 9 tries. There's Mom Lindsay cheering it up. She got a ticket tonight.
I guess he remembered to leave a ticket for her. Good on you, Tread. Hawaii up 4 here. Timeout Waves. Senior night tomorrow for the Rainbow Warrior basketball team. They play host to Long Beach State. We'll have our coverage for you on Spectrum Sports beginning at 6:30. Hawaii getting a win last night against UC Riverside. A well-rounded performance. And saw them shoot over 60% from the field as Hawaii out of the timeout sends one out. Kainoa Wade with the hitting error there. Wade was starting to percolate a little bit at 3 kills. That'll bring him back down to triple zeros in the percentage department, but Hawaii's still up 3.
I love the way Finn Kearney came in and just ripped that ball after the timeout. Not easy to do.
Polomots on the serve. That one pulls Rosenthal off the net, but he sends it back outside to War, and he's able to work it off of the hands and out. Adrian War with his 2nd kill. And Hawaii up 4, 23 serving 19. It's Tread's turn to serve.
Look at those numbers. 409 for the season. For an outside hitter, that's unheard of.
It's ridiculous. Hawaii with 3 pin hitters in the top 15 nationally in hitting percentage as Rosenthal commits the service error. So here's Ryan Barnett now. Jose Gomez inserted back into the front row here by Jonathan Winder. Went with Ford Harmon to help in serve receive. Diving pass by Greenwich. He had to go full layout there. Here's War over the top, but he sends it long, and the Waves are right there. 21 serving 23.
Charlotte Waves got 2 timeouts. Might be a good time to use one here, or if not, the next play.
Pepperdine, no timeouts remaining. And that one blasted out. And it is aloha ball here in the first for Hawaii.
And the fans are starting to stand up for a set point.
And some of them are getting the memo.
Somebody even brought a sign.
Yeah, there's the memo. It's Adrian. And he serves it long.
You talked about serving out at the wrong times. Guess what? Set point or match point are 2 wrong times.
Yeah, they had a couple of set points in the 4th to try to force a set 5. Both times, service errors. Rosenthal, middle set, Jordan. He got the scoring started in the first, and he gets the scoring concluded in the first. 25-22. Hawaii seeking a bounce back after a loss 2 nights ago. Off to a positive start. On the dealer's highlight reel, and Travell Jordan, as mentioned, scored the first point, scored the last point in set 1. And right now he's high man for Hawaii with 4 kills.
Yeah, he really played solid. Hits the ball so high, so hard, moves the ball around, sees the block well. Most of the time he's only going up against one blocker, and he can go OTT on either of middle blockers for Pepperdine. So kudos to Travell, but mostly kudos to the passing for Hawaii, which allows Tread Rosenthal to set the middle.
Jordan, who had 4 kills on 8 swings the other night, already has 4 kills on 6 swings here tonight. And we're also going to see Ofek Hazan start at the other middle position here in set 2.
And by the way, credit to Quentin Greenwich that time. He had 11 receptions of the 18. He had 11 of them. and he's leading all diggers on the floor with 5. He normally averages around 2 digs per set. He's got 5 in the first set alone.
Yeah, he was phenomenal in that opening frame. And how about legend in the house, Lily Kahumoko, as she was known in her playing days as a Rainbow Wahine, sitting next to Tani, Charlie Wade's wife. And cool to see Lily here back in the house.
Yeah, she was amazing. What a great career she had.
You see outside hitter, the early 2000s, and probably not aware she's on TV just yet. And there she is. We turned around and she's sitting right behind us. This is fantastic. Meanwhile, they're waiting to get things online here to get started as the net cam. That's the DV Sports System net cam. So ours is on the near side. That one's on the far side. So they're trying to get it in focus. And this is ours. Our crew members are like, oh, we know how that goes.
Yeah.
Hawaii hitting 250 in that first frame compared to 132 for the Waves. What stood out to you most about that effort by Hawaii in the first set?
I would say the digging. You know, Hawaii outdug Pepperdine 15-7. So Hawaii had 8 more chances to attack the ball, to run an offense, to bring the ball back to Pepperdine's side, and that's a significant number of chances. 15-7. That's really makes a difference. Both teams' blocking was really good. Hawaii with 3, Pepperdine with 2.5.
All right, well, they worked on the far side net cam. Not sure if they accomplished their goal of getting it perfectly focused, but I think they felt like we had delayed action a little too long. Let's get it rolling here. Set 2 underway. Back row, this is Gomez. Played up off of the net by Wade. The extension there by Greenwich. Gotta love the effort, but 4 not, as Pepperdine strikes first in the second. Quentin Greenwich, the 5'8" junior from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, a transfer from the University of Windsor, where he had just shy of 300 digs over a 2-year span. Good pass there by Sakanoko. Middle set, Jordan. Oh, the set was a little low. And he ends up hitting it wide.
You don't expect a low set from a 6'11" to 6'11". You can't be setting the guy low.
Yeah, hard to imagine that.
If anything, set him too high, because he can
That's
touch
also hard.
12-4.
That's also hard to imagine. As the serve by Polomats goes long. Hawaii 3rd in the latest AVCA rankings. Pepperdine 7th. Pepperdine's 3 losses have all come against Big West opponents. What a serve there by War. Pepperdine scrambling a little bit, and a free pass coming over. Big advantage for Hawaii. Middle set, and that one was some nectar.
That was right where Travell likes it, in his wheelhouse. This in slow motion as Travell goes up and just hammers it home. Kind of 1.5 blockers up that time. Not enough to stop Travell.
Here's Roar again. Went with a little bit extra on that one. Outside Hartke, 3 blockers against him, and it doesn't matter. Goes right over the top. Such a high point of contact for this guy. Jonathan Winder telling us that his time with the USA national program in the offseason really helped get him stronger. He's jumping higher, still ascending in his overall skill set, which is scary. Here's Sakanoko. Speaking of jumping higher, he went up the elevator shaft there. We're tied at 3.
Talk about Hartke, he also increased his miles per hour on his serve as well. He was usually hitting in the 60s, now he's going in the 70s whenever he wants.
Yeah, about a 10-mile-per-hour increase in his steady velocity, where he's comfortable getting the ball in. Jordan, that one handled by Gomez. Second touch drifts over the net, but Pepperdine keeps it off the floor. Bumps at Gomez, going high hand, saved by Roar. Back set, it's Wade, and he's blocked and roofed. And that's the third block for Pepperdine here in this match. And Kainoa Wade now venturing into the negative numbers with his fourth hitting error to 3 kills. 4 serving 3. Edie sending it over. Middle set, and Hazan, he's sent back. It was Ethan Watson and Cole Hartke. And Hartke letting out quite the post-block celly.
They were waiting for him.
That time, though, a little bit of a quicker exchange as Rosenthal goes to Hazan, and he's able to drop the hammer.
I think Hazan's better hitting the 31. It's away from the setter rather than going right on the setter where they commit on them, and makes it a lot easier to block.
Backside, it's Hartke, blocked. The cover there by Riley. Now they go the other side. It's two-handed over the net. Wade with the save. Here's Louis, blocked. The cover by Greenwich. Louis a second time. Tried to push Dinkett deep. Waves will come back to Hartke. 3 blockers against him. Punched up in the air. Rosenthal, the joust, and he wins it.
Wow. How about Trent Rosenthal? He's so good with those jousts. I don't know if he's lost any of those this year. Nice dig by Kainoa Wade. And then Rosenthal once again winning the battle.
And what a serve there by Wade. Forces the overpass. Hawaii in business here. Back row war. Oh, they're going to say that he stepped on the line and commits the violation. Oh, boy. That was an explosion by Adrian Rohr. Alas, Pepperdine still gets the point.
Yeah, he got his left pinky toe on the line.
Here's Hartke. Greenwich able to sprawl for that one. D-set, Wade had to just tap it over. Polomatz goes D-set, Hartke, blocked and roped. Sakonoko jumping up next to Hazan, saying,
Well-formed block. Well, he's doing a nice job of leaning towards Hartke, knowing he's going to get like 1 out of every 2 sets, so might as well lean that way and make sure you got a solid block, not a split block at all.
And Hartke handles that Sakonoko serve. Back row, this is Barnett, dug up over and out by Louis. And that was a crack by Ryan Barnett, my word.
Yeah, he ripped away. Notice why he's doing a better job serving-wise, keeping it away from Jacob Riley.
Certainly another point of emphasis for Hawaii in the off day. D-set, here's Wade. And that was sheer force. Able to go through that double block. Great effort by the big fella, Cole Hartke. But Hawaii ties it up at 7 here in set 2.
Kainoa Wade gets out of negative numbers with this swing right here. Now 4 kills, 4 errors, flatlining it at 0-0-0.
If you're wondering, no Christian Tatriski available for Hawaii for the second straight match. Did not warm up, did not dress up, and Ofek Hazan, meanwhile, a serve that by no account is too hot to handle, but for whatever reason, they weren't able to handle it.
It registered 22 miles on the radar gun.
Outside, Barnett. And he is starting to send some laser beams across the way. I don't think he had a full swing until maybe late in set 2 or even into set 3 last night or 2 nights ago. He just kept dinking it all over the place.
Yeah, he did. Last year, first team All-American.
Rohr. Well, that may have gone off the dome of Polomatz. And Adrian Rohr gets kill number 3.
Rohr looks much more focused tonight. Much more intentional in where he's going to attack the ball. Trying to keep it away from those end blockers.
Rosenthal, that one flattened out on him, and he sends it long. Yeah, we were both commenting prior to first serve. It looked like just a better warm-up to the match for Hawaii. They just looked sharper and seemed to be more engaged and locked in. We've seen some of that translate here into the match. A looping serve there by Polomats. Rosenthal, middle to Jordan, and he just levitated and found the open floor.
Didn't need to hit this one hard. Just hit it into the donut in the middle of the court.
6 kills for Travell Jordan, already just 1 off of his season high. What a serve, what a pass by Riley. Middle set put down by Edie. Oh, that was Jacob Riley who made that all possible.
This is a great serve, and Riley just popped it up right on the money. And Edie finishes. Pepperdine said before the game, Jonathan Linder said, we need to go to the middle more often than we did last night.
That's a good pass by Ward. Backside, Wade. Barnett got it up. Long run, though, and look out. Photographer in the area, and I think everybody's okay.
Well, I guess the people that sit downstairs, plus the photographers that are taking pictures, need to have their heads on a swivel at all times.
Well, depending on if he was able to snap a shot, it could come out spectacularly.
Yeah, that's right. A rare bad pass from Riley.
Yeah, pulled Polomats off the net. Gomez slowed down. Hawaii in transition. Middle set, Hazan. Able to rip it to the near side, hard angle, and Ofek Hazan, 6'6" sophomore from Israel. In a day and age in college volleyball where there are 7-foot middles all over the place, he is a guy who is now undersized by the standard, and yet he just always seems to put up numbers. As the serve by Hedervik again goes long. So it seems like Charlie Wade tinkering with that other service sub. Kai Taylor, we have not seen serve with too much consistency here as of late. He's going with the freshman setter Magnus Hedervik here last couple of nights in some spots. Finn Kearney, of course, he's got that service sub maneuver locked down. Outside, this is Gomez. Dug up over the net and handled with ease by Ethan Watson.
Hawaii's ball control has got to remain solid, keeping the ball on their own side of the net. Anytime you give up those free balls, that's easy points.
James Edie, trickery there that he endeavors with on his serve. Here's Wade, tried to two-hand it, right to the middle of the floor. Waves will play it back row, that is Barnett. And the dig there by Greenwich. Back row, Roar! And this time with the feet behind the line, he does some damage.
Once again, I think Roar is probably asking for more sets tonight. He really wants to have redemption.
Overpass. Rosenthal dumps it down on 2.
I like the way Rosenthal calls his own number at the right times. Last night, 6 kills, or Wednesday night, 6 kills, no errors in 9 tries.
Pass by Riley is a good one outside. This is Gomez. How about the kick? Second touch there by Sakonoko. Sent over the net by Wade. Waves go outside. Gomez again off the block and out. Oh, we saw a kick save 2 nights ago. That was Justin Todd, and then it got played off the net, and it led to a Hawaii roof. But that time, it was a kick save on the second touch by Sakonoko. But this time it results in a Pepperdine point. Pass by Louis. Back row War is blocked. Long chase here for Greenwich, and it comes back over the net. D-set, hard key. Oh my goodness. Lights it aflame.
I'll tell you, when he gets up, when he gets his right approach, gets the right set, he can take somebody's head off in the back row. Pass out some construction hats.
Greenwich upset with himself that he didn't dig that one up. The rest of us can barely see it. Rosenthal from off the floor sets up Wade, dug up by Hartke. Long run here for Polomats, and he's not able to get there. And so Hawaii gets the 15 first in set 2. Another high-level volleyball battle between these two squads. It's Hyundai head-to-head stat line. These are a couple of the pin hitters that we featured in the game on portion of the broadcast. Cole Hartke, not quite as dominant as he was, at least to this point, on Wednesday. Adrian War, much better at this point than what he was on Wednesday. So interesting to see those two guys, slightly different experiences here in the Hanaho rematch. Out of the timeout, Louis Sakanoko to serve. Well, the toss was well out in front, but that time able to keep it in. And that middle set was off the mark, and it will be a Hawaii point. It was a whiff there by Ethan Watson, and so give the put down there to Ofek Hazan.
Well, I got lucky there. They dodged a bullet, that's for sure. Let's see if Louis Sakanoko can serve anybody but Jacob Riley.
That time it was the toss that was a little off the mark.
Yeah.
See if he gives himself a better try. He does. Oh, that narrowly misses beyond the end line. So 15 serving 16, inching along here in the second. And Jose Gomez, member of the Cuban national team. Pass by Greenwich. War goes off the hands and out. The Jose Gomez story is an interesting one. This is a guy who hails from Trinidad, Cuba, was playing for the Cuban national team in a tournament in Canada. This was a couple of summers ago, and crossed over the Canadian-U.S. border, ultimately in Montana, ultimately defecting from Cuba, and has remained in the United States since, got political asylum, and has now gotten all of his student visas and everything coordinated. It was quite the risk for a guy who was just 18 years of age, barely spoke any English. Pepperdine, of course, with some very high admission standards. If you do not speak English well, they do not offer much in the way of ESL type of curriculums.
Exactly.
And so he taught himself to speak English, got himself into Pepperdine, and here he is now as one of their starting pin hitters.
And he's got so much international experience to bring to the floor. Playing for the Cuban national team, their under-21 team.
There's Aiden Toon, the Punahou grad, on the serve. Set up a good one. Hawaii scrambling to get it over. May have been played as an out ball by Hartke. And then it's blocked back off of the push by Barnett. He'll get a second crack at it. Crack it he does, but Wade keeps it up. Free ball going to come back over the net. This is a scrambling sequence. Polomats, D-set, Hartke. Goes off the fingers and down.
As usual, long rallies. Pepperdine wins them. It's Hartke being the Terminator and celebrator.
Tied at 17. There you see the deep inhale and exhale by Aiden Toon. And it's a good serve. That one creeps over the net. Toon will take on the setting responsibilities. Barnett off the block and down. And Aiden Toon making an impact here the last few points.
His dad, Coach Rick, I'm sure very proud. I haven't seen him tonight, but look for a Pepperdine shirt, and he's probably wearing it.
Three straight points scored by the Waves. Looking to even this match up. And he drops the ace right into the bucket. And that forces Hawaii to signal for a timeout. Well, Aiden Toon comes in and changes the tune of set number 2. That's Murakami Stadium on Sunday for the series finale, the opening series of Big West play between Hawaii and Cal Poly. Over there on the baseball diamond. You see the coverage beginning at 12:45. Right now it is Cal Poly up 4-2 on Hawaii in the top of the 5th. We'll keep you posted. 19 serving 17. Pepperdine on a 4-point run. Out of the timeout, Aiden Toon. Pass there by Sakanoko. Middle set, Jordan again hovering. And almost deciding midair exactly where he's going to go with it. It wasn't the most pulverizing shot, but he bounces it. And he now has 7 kills to match his season high, and we are only in set number 2.
And count on Trent Rosenthal continuing to go to the hot hand.
Much needed point there for Hawaii. Speaking of Rosenthal, he's serving. Pass by Gomez. It's an overpass. Hawaii with the opportunity here. Roar one-on-one. Played up off the ricochet by Wade. Roar a second time blocked back, covered by Greenwich. One hand middle set to Jordan. And he hits it into the net.
Missed opportunity for Hawaii. They clearly were in charge of that rally. Could not get organized.
Got a one-on-one on the outside for Adrian Roar, but Polomatz wasn't having it. And now he will serve. Pass by Sakanoko is a beauty. Outside, here's Wade. Right pin, left pin. It's in.
It's been a rotation Hawaii struggled with a little bit tonight. And Wade makes sure that they rotate out of it quickly on that rotation.
So Wade now up to 7 kills, hitting 167. Also has 5 digs. Roar into the net. And these are the high leverage situations and points late in sets. Hawaii practices this in the practice gym almost every single day, where they start at 18 and they work on this stuff, but they have had a multitude of serving errors in these kinds of situations here this week. Diving save by Riley. Back row the tip there, Barnett, and Hawaii with the save. Off of one leg, it is Sakanoko, and now the advantage for the Waves. They go outside, Hartke, the roll shot, he's blocked back, gets his own cover. Now backside, Gomez, off the block and out. And Pepperdine has built a 3-point padding here in the second.
Smart swing by Gomez that time, tooling it off the end blocker's left hand.
So it's a 7-2 surge here for the Waves. And Hawaii signals for a timeout. What has happened? Hawaii all of a sudden getting stuck in the mud here at this juncture of the second frame.
You know, you gotta give a lot of credit to Aiden too when he came in and did that serving, had a dig in there, made a big difference. But the 7-2, that's the little mini tsunami I was talking about. Hawaii cannot afford to have those kinds of lapses. They've got to be able to have those runs by Pepperdine be short, not little ones like little waves, but not tsunamis.
All right, well, we showed her earlier, a special guest in the house here this evening, and Ryan Kalei-Suji is with her. Ryan?
That's right, one of the all-time greats, actually the all-time winningest Wahine volleyball player in program history, someone who needs no introduction, Lily Kahumoku, back here in the Sanchez Center. What is it like to be back, Lil?
Oh wow, it's surreal. It's amazing. I don't have words to describe how amazing this environment is.
Just to update fans, what are you up to? Where are you living?
I live in Spain. And I'm here looking for players to go pro, and so I'm working and enjoying being a fan of UH men's volleyball.
And really quick question, you played for Charlie Wade. What has been your experience as a player for Charlie Wade?
Well, he was less refined back in my day, but he had an encyclopedic knowledge of volleyball. He's probably the greatest technician, and he was fundamental in our program, and he's done an amazing job. And Charlie, you know, he has so much enthusiasm and so much passion, and yeah, he's doing amazing.
Great to see you, Lil. Back over to you guys.
Hey, thanks a lot, Ryan. And really, really cool to have Lily here back in Manoa. Here is Kainoa Wade out of the timeout, couldn't get it down. Backside Hartke, double block against him, and Hawaii wins that battle. Travell Jordan got the gist of it. And Hawaii with a little bit of an uphill climb here. 20 serving 22 in the second.
Hawaii's got to be pleased with the job they're doing on Hartke so far. He's got 6 kills, but 4 errors, hitting 083.
Pepperdine out of system. Gomez, the tip shot, sniffed out there by Rosenthal. On 2 from the back row. Are you serious, Adrian Roar?
You think the birthday boy came to play tonight? I think so.
6 kills now for War, hitting 308. And he found the sweet spot on that. And yeah, we've seen that before when Rosenthal able to handle either a free pass or a touch shot like that over the block. He'll just go ahead and set up whoever it is in the back row.
The next time he'll come out of the back row, he'll jump like he's going to hit, and then he'll set his buddy Louis Sakonoko on the left.
We've also seen that, exactly. So timeout Pepperdine. Hawaii now within a point, 21 serving 22. You have Travell Jordan, whose serve actually went through the hands of Gomez there. That got Pepperdine out of system. Travell Jordan isn't necessarily known as the guy who's going to be overly threatening from the service line, but he is known as the guy who will more oftentimes than not get it in. What do you expect to see here on this upcoming serve?
I think Travell Jordan, one of the reasons he's being kept in is because he's a jump floater who can pinpoint, have a pinpoint accuracy about his serve and stay away from you-know-who, Jacob Riley.
Yeah, he'll give you a different look with his serve. And like you said, I think oftentimes Charlie Waves like, let's just stick with him because we will get the serve more likely in and give us a chance to win the point.
Exactly. With all due respect to Hawaii's serving subs, but, you know, Travell Jordan's, he's warm. You know, he's not coming off the bench cold like the serving subs would have to be. And we'll see what happens here.
There's Jacob Riley.
He's taking all kinds of court. Look how much room he's taking.
Yeah.
He's got like 2/3 of the court.
A little more responsibility for him in their serving receive formation this year. 21 serving 22. Jordan down the line, two-handed by Barnett. Outside it goes to Gomez, and he tools the block. Nice job by Ryan Barnett to handle what was a tricky location on that serve. So Pepperdine gets the point, 23 serving 21.
Jordan did his job. It was a great serve, I thought. Barnett just made an even better pass.
How about Jose Gomez leading everybody on the floor with 8 kills. And now Zach Chapin serving sub for the Waves. Pass by Greenwich on the mark. Here's Wade on the backside. The block slowed him down. Barnett will take on the set. Goes to Hartke, and he goes off the block and out. Lets out a roar, and it's aloha ball for Pepperdine here in the second.
You can only hold him down so long. That 0.83 average is not going to stay like that all night long.
24 serving 21. Pepperdine trying to even up this match. Rosenthal, the bump set. Sakonoko, it drifted a little too far over, and it was put down by Hartke. Sakonoko arguing that the ball was still on the Hawaii side of the net. Fred Rosenthal, the floor captain, talking with the official across the way. But that's going to be a wrap on set 2, and Pepperdine responds after the opening set statement put together by Hawaii. We are even Steven after 2 here in Manoa. Hawaii find the advantage in these obviously very small margins.
I think from 20 to 25, as you said earlier, playing between 20 and 25, their best volleyball of the night is what they're going to have to do. And I think they're going to have to continue to find ways to slow down Cole Hartke. You know, he's got 8 kills, which leads the team along with Gomez, but he's hitting a .54. Normally he's hitting up around 300 or 400. So Hawaii's doing a good job there. They're going to have to continue to do that, because if Cole Hartke gets hot, it's going to be trouble.
Oh boy, Hawaii scrambling just to get that return across, and then the middle set, they're dug up. Here is Roar, and a very unorthodox opening point, but Hawaii will take it anyway. It can get it right now, and Adrian Roar adds to his kill total. He now has 7, and he's hitting well above 300 in much more familiar territory right now, Adrian Roar.
Pepperdine in control that entire rally until Roar's tap down.
So 1 serving 0, here it is from Rosenthal. And that's an ace. Well, we saw him record career ace number 100 the other night. Give him 101.
He broke a tie with Yuval Kotz, I believe. So now he's in 9th by himself.
2 serving 0. Down the line again, Pepperdine way out of system, and it's going to be a free pass coming over. Rosenthal goes back row. Oh, they messed up the connection, and now Pepperdine with the advantage. Outside, Barnett blocked the sliding cover by Riley. Against the grain, it's Hartke. He had to just two-hand it over as a back row. Outside, Roar through the block and down. It just kept trickling further and further down until it touched the Terraflex. And Adrian Roar now high man for Hawaii with 8 kills.
He's having a birthday kind of a night. Turned 20 today. But how about how close these two teams are? 18 times this match has been tied. 8 times it's been lead changes.
Back row for Pepperdine, and that one blasted by Gomez, but the block slowed it down. Outside, here's Roar again. Off the block and down on Hawaii's side. It is a roof for the Waves. James Eady getting most of that one.
One of the things Hawaii's got to do when they get free balls like that, they've got to have one-on-one for their hitters. 2 blockers up, tough against a team that big.
Polomats to serve, and that one sent way out. Andre Polomats, the junior from Serbia, transfer from Purdue Fort Wayne. Played in this building. Well, he was with that program back in 2024.
He did not hit it out as far as Gomez, though.
No, Gomez was up, I don't know, 15 or 20 rows into the seats. Backside, here's Barnett, off the block, gets his own cover. Now they go the other side. It's Hartke hitting from the left, and he sends it out. And how about this start for Hawaii in set 3? They're up 5-1.
It's been steady play. They're also serving away from Jacob Riley.
Very early timeout signaled by Jonathan Winder. We'll be back at Les Murakami Stadium on Tuesday. Rainbow Warriors in a midweek matchup with Chaminade. 6 p.m. is when our coverage will begin on Spectrum Sports. Another update. Cal Poly up on Hawaii 4-2, now in the bottom of the 6th. So an early timeout signaled by Pepperdine. Hawaii up 5-1. Here is Roar on the serve. Riley the first touch. Outside it's Hartke. Big swing and the sliding save there by Roar. So Greenwich pops it straight up for Louis, but was kind of in his way on the approach. Advantage Waves. They go middle set. And that was a nice swing by James Eady, the redshirt junior from Newport Beach, California.
That was a good swing. He had one blocker up, and he just had a nice little opened his wrist up, wrist away, and tapped it down. Nice swing.
All-American honorable mention a year ago, James Eady. Here's Louis, big time approach. The big wind up, and he uncoiled for a Hawaii point.
He was going eyeball to eyeball there with Hartke. Watch Hartke on the outside go with him. Goes to the outside to take his line, and Louis says, I'm going to go cross court then.
Sakonoko now up to 5 kills. Here's Jordan on the serve. Outside, Gomez. The dig there by Roar on 2 knees. It drifts over to the Wave side. Gomez again, this time one-on-one with Wade, and he's able to win the battle. Jose Gomez, just 2 errors the other night. He only has 3 errors so far in this one, and he's up to 9 kills. That's tops right now for Pepperdine.
Nice little cutback across his body there. Tooling Wade's right on.
Rosenthal goes middle, and there is Justin Todd trying to find his form. Remember, he was hitting at such a high percentage earlier in the year. This is a guy who was expected to be a pin hitter coming into the season, but due to what is a nagging injury that continues to keep Roman Payne, the 7-foot freshman, out of the lineup, they move Justin back to the middle. And he was able to catch it flush there. Here's Sakonoko from Greenwich. Did he get the touch? Yes, he did. And Hawaii has extended the lead out to 8-3, largest lead of the night here for Hawaii.
Great dig in the back row that time by, is it Kainoa?
Kainoa sending it long there.
Must have been Louis.
Set 3, at least to this point, looking somewhat similar to what we saw in set 3 2 nights ago. Pass by Louis. He'll get the set. How about that quick spring back to his feet? and then the two-hand put down. Sakonoko goes down on the serve reception, and then the way he popped right back up and was able to get into his approach. This was nifty. And then that was nifty too.
He's not going to be able to get away with that all night long, though. He's got to get up there and hammer.
And he hammered that and bounces it up into the band area. And that's now 9 service errors here for Hawaii.
It's Louis' service error number 2.
6 service errors meanwhile for the Waves, and here's Jose Gomez. Diving touch there by Sakonoko. D-set there from Rosenthal to Wade. It'll be played back. Bump set. This is Barnett, blocked and roofed. 6 hands across as the Manoa Roofing Company put on their hard hats on that occasion.
Well-formed block. No holes in that block. Even the nifty and savvy Barnett couldn't get it through.
So here's Justin Todd. This has at times been a big strength for Todd. His ability to do some damage from the service line. Barnett on the pass, that's the set. But Tread Rosenthal says, don't tread on me. Hawaii up 11-5.
I think Tread was taking line there because Barnett has tooled the outside blocker so much. Yeah, there you see Tread right on the antenna, basically, and turning that back into the court. Great play.
Another good serve. Riley pops it up in the air. So the bump set to Barnett. Free pass coming over. Huge opportunity for Hawaii. Rosenthal. How about that? He had everybody fooled.
Oh, what a smart play and nifty play. A little trickeration, as you like to call it.
Tricky Tread. Looking like he's going to make the attack. Instead sets up Jordan, who now has a season-high 8 kills. Putting together some highlights here in this third set. The ace goes over on 2 there. This is some stuff from earlier in the match. One, a joust.
And my favorite is this one here. He takes 2 blockers with him. My favorite.
That was here in the third. You see his stat line. Had a double-double performance in assists and digs the other night. 12 serving 5 out of the timeout. Outside, this is well executed there by Ryan Barnett. Again, so savvy with the off-speed pitches, so to speak.
Yeah, he is. He's a senior. He's a captain, leader. He's sort of got he's got all the tools in the bag in his toolkit. You never know what to expect when he goes up to hit.
Oh, that may have been an out ball. You could see the indecision there by Greenwich. And it is an ace from Ethan Watson. He had an ace the other night as well. He has now 4 on the season.
Oh, man.
It is not the style serve that you would think would result in a whole lot of aces, but again, just a different look. One hand set, Jordan able to get it down despite the efforts there on his back by Cole Hartke. And Travell Jordan, how about 13 attempts for him? Now 9 kills to lead Hawaii tonight. What do you think about this performance that we're seeing from Travell?
Pretty impressive, to say the least. I know the game plan was to attack the middle when possible, when the passing was good enough. He'll continue to get lots of sets if the passing is right.
Yeah, message received. And it was interesting because that was certainly something that you heard the Hawaii coaching staff talk about, was something that Jonathan Winder was anticipating on the Pepperdine side. They haven't really been able to stop that as Rosenthal serves it into the twine. Winder was saying, you know, with the size of these Hawaii middles, and oftentimes in their matchup with most opponents, the opponents will have that size advantage in the middle of the net. And it's just up to them to see if they can exploit that. Pass by Louis. Rosenthal outside, big swing, Wade with so much thrust that it goes off the hands and out beyond the Hawaii end line. And they have built out a 6-point edge.
Good swing by Kainoa and get out of that rotation. It's troubled them so much all night long, but for the last 2 times, Kainoa's got out of that rotation pretty quickly.
And Pepperdine out of system here. Hartke going to take a swing at it though, and he's able to make it work.
Roar saying, what happened? Why didn't I control that? It was not a typical Hartke heater. It was very diggable.
And he's got to be one of the best out-of-system swingers in all of college volleyball. Showed it right there. Pass by War. Here's Jordan. And the set wasn't exactly a bullseye, but Travell Jordan with those bunnies, some elevation. And he finds the floor for kill number 10. The stat line here for Trey Jordan, 10 kills, hitting 500. The 10 kills, that matches a career high that he set while with Grand Canyon University last year. That was against Concordia Irvine in an MPSF match in March of 2025. Of course, GCU announcing at the end of last season that they were folding their varsity program, and then it just became this bargain bin rush from all the other programs in the country to try to pluck as many of the GCU players as possible. And Charlie Wade was able to acquire the services of Travell Jordan, and he's having a career night here this evening. Middle set, and that swing misses by James Eady. And out of the timeout, Hawaii gets to 16. So 16 serving 9, and Magnus Hedervik, the 6'7" freshman from Stavanger, Norway. Again, open tryouts, it seems, for one of the service sub spots. He sends it long.
By the way, Kanoa, I'm going to make a wild guess. I'm going to bet you Travell Jordan breaks his kill record tonight.
Okay.
Are you on? Are you on?
This is a bold take by you, really going out on a limb here.
If you lose, you have to wear a suit tomorrow night for basketball. Okay?
Oh, don't get me started with that. Artie Wilson and his usual...
It's the last game of the year, Kanoa.
Yeah.
Come on.
Artie Wilson and his usual demands at the end of the year on senior night. Here's Aiden Toon. Change the vibe in set 2 from the service line. Here's Wade, and he's able to plug it past the Pepperdine block. So Hawaii getting out of that rotation. Aiden Toon, he loomed large, certainly at that spot of set 2 when he came in to serve, put them on a run, and that changed certainly the way that set 2 was going and heading. And so Pepperdine wins it. Hawaii now back up 7. Here's Hartke, double block, slowed him down. Rosenthal goes middle to Todd, and a solo stuff there by Ethan Watson.
Trent Rosenthal got something in his eye there. There's some dirt from the ball. Maybe
he may have gouged his own eye there and just trying to pop up the save. Not sure if his hand kind of poked himself. Maybe there was another angle that could catch that, but yeah, he took some kind of contact. He's trying to wipe his eyeball clean there. Oh, the ball hit his head there. That's what it was, off of JT's knee.
Well, JT was trying to do another impression.
Yeah.
He did on Wednesday night, the kicking impression.
So Rosenthal, a little redness there in that left eye, but he continues. 11 serving 17. And a service error there for Hartke.
How about these numbers just turned in? You know, Hawaii hitting 750, and now they're hitting 643, but Pepperdine hitting 0, 0, 0. You know what that means? Kills and errors even, just the same.
Outside, this is Gomez, cross court, good dig there by Roar. So Sakanoko sets him up, and the triple block by Pepperdine was all over it as they disrupted the French connection.
That set from Louis could have been a little more to the outside. The only place Roar could go is cross court into that block. Set out to the antenna, I think, would have been a little bit better, and further off the net.
12 serving 18. Pass by Greenwich is perfect. Outside, this is War. And he blows out the candle on his birthday. 9 kills now for Adrian War.
Here comes Hawaii's amazing serving specialist. Remember the Harvard match last year? 5th set, he came in and saved the day. What a serve there.
What a pass by Riley. From behind the line, Hartke. Hawaii keeps it off the ground. The swing by War. And that is some Hawaii volleyball in vintage fashion for you.
This is just great hand-eye coordination, quick reactions. Watch how quick they one hand, then another hand.
Another great serve, another great pass by Riley. And the swing by Barnett topples over a couple of Rainbow Warriors.
Good serving turn by Kearney as usual. I'm still waiting for him to get set out of the back row when he serves. It throws a whole new wrinkle into the Hawaii offense.
Here's Chapin. Pass by War. D-set Wade. And it is rhythmic right now for Hawaii. 21 serving 13.
By the way, Chapin, he's been a great server for them both nights. You know who his favorite athlete is? Taylor Crabb, of all people.
These Pepperdine boys, they've been watching some Hawaii athletes, huh?
They have. Ford Harmon has Taylor Crabb down as his favorite as well.
As that serve goes out. Yeah, if we want to just pile it on, Jacob Riley, the great libero for the Waves, he lists Eric Shoji as his favorite volleyball player. But if you're a libero, it's almost an obligation, right?
Exactly.
You're required to list Eric Shoji as your favorite.
Maybe the best libero in the world, on the planet.
Yeah, like ever. Oh, that's an overpass and a good serve. One hand middle set and a one-man stuff by Travell Jordan.
He's having a career in one night, isn't he? He's everywhere. Goes up quickly, just taps that right back down. Good discipline by Travell.
His fingerprints figuratively and literally all over this volleyball match as War just misses the end line again. How about Jordan? 10 kills, 5 blocks. He's hitting 500. This is what Charlie Wade envisioned when he went after him in the transfer portal. Tough serve again by Barnett. Here's Wade. Oh, and he catches Barnett on the shoulder. Pepperdine able to keep no, they weren't able to keep the sequence alive as it got vaulted over the net outside the antenna. And that was a smash by Kainoa Wade.
Hawaii's winning this particular set pretty convincingly, but remember Wednesday night, they won the third set 25-15, but could not close it in the fourth set.
Jordan repositioning himself on that end line. One hand set and Gomez hits it out. And Hawaii has aloha ball here and a chance for the true repeat performance of set 3 the other night. It was 25-15 in the third, and now serving for the set again, it's Jordan. Hand pass Gomez, middle set, Edie is blocked, and rope. The difference between Wednesday and Friday, Hawaii won the first set tonight, and so they take a 2-1 advantage after a 25-15 set 3 victory. Jordan, 10 kills, that ties a career high going back to his year at Grand Canyon last season. Also has a handful of blocks. He's been all over the place, C-Mac.
Yeah, he's playing a tremendous game tonight. Made a big difference in the middle. Has really led the way for the Warriors, as you said. How about the way that Hawaii hit in that third set? Hit 632. Pepperdine hit negative 091. More errors than kills. Very uncharacteristic for this very powerful offensive Pepperdine team.
Funny how there have been some similar beats in this match to what we saw 2 nights ago. The exact same score in favor of Hawaii in set 3, 25-15. Of course, the difference was Hawaii won a competitive first set tonight as opposed to losing a set that went deuces to open the match the other night. But if we are going to see a similar beat here in the 4th, just remember it was set 4 on Wednesday where Cole Hartke went bananas, had 11 kills of his 24 in the 4th frame. And I'd imagine that the game plan for Pepperdine right now might be let's spoon feed number 10.
Yeah, I would totally agree. Right now, he's hitting a $125, 9 kills, 5 errors, and 32 swings. In fact, it looks like Barnett hitting 200 and Gomez hitting 208. So the pin hitters struggling tonight in general.
Good look there at Jonathan Winder, his team preseason pick to finish 2nd in the MPSF. Tied with USC in the voting. UCLA the favorite. And an ace to get things started. Trent Rosenthal. That's his 2nd ace of the evening.
I believe he's trying to serve it down the line or to Barnett, but he's trying to keep it away clearly from Jacob Riley.
Continues to climb the all-time aces career ladder at Hawaii. From off the floor, Gomez dug up there by Greenwich. That's Greenwich's 10th dig. Meanwhile, a dig there by Polomots. Here's Hartke trying to push it past the block. Rosenthal was there, so Sakonoko sets up War. War in the middle of things. Got that one off the block. Hartke diving save along the back line there by Sakonoko. Back set, Rosenthal, and War from off the net is dug up by Riley. Here's Hartke again, down the line with some electricity.
Pretty good defense going on right now on both sides of the floor.
So Hartke gets to double figures in kills. He has 10. The nation's kill and points leader. He's averaging 4.5 kills per set. And I think we're going to have a challenge here.
Usual to use it at the score 1-1.
So Hawaii challenging that there was a Pepperdine net violation in the middle of that play. And it was a pretty lengthy play. So this is a lot to review here for Mark Nakashima.
Yeah.
Let's check it out. This is our net cam. And let's check out how this thing progresses here. This is from the serve. Keep your eye on the tape. See when you can see it possibly shake. So it's shaking there by virtue of the ball ricochet. Nothing so far. Still nothing. We see something here. No. And this was the finisher there by Hartke. I didn't see anything, C-Mac. Did you?
Nope. I think it's going to be a challenge that gets denied.
So after reliving that sequence, Mark Nakashima going to make the ruling. And that's going to be a confirmed call. So second loss challenge here for Charlie. 1 remaining. Of course, you get an extra challenge if it goes to a 5th, and that's certainly what Pepperdine has in mind. And after that long pause, now Cole Hartke getting ready to go back to work. Rosenthal goes backside. This is War off the block. Played off the block by Wade, and then Jordan in the middle. And that is a new career high for Travell Jordan, 11th put down of the match.
So I win the bet, and you've got to wear a suit tomorrow night.
I guess so.
To basketball.
I guess so. Artie always gets his way in the end. Now I just got to go buy a suit.
That's right.
Oh, Rohr forces the overpass. Rosenthal, middle, there's Jordan, dug up by Riley. Now Hartke from behind the line, those high hands. And Cole Hartke perhaps starting to heat up. And that can always prove to be problematic for the opposition.
Louis Sakonoko really got on that last swing, but Jacob Riley right there in the pocket.
Rosenthal goes middle, Jordan. I mean, he was on a flying carpet.
I guess he's not only going to break his personal record for kills, he's going to smash it.
I mean, he could lead the league in nosebleeds by how high he gets. D set, here's Hartke again. And uh-oh, Cole Hartke starting to get dialed.
Is that his third kill already here in this set? He's got, I think he's got all 3 of their points.
Rosenthal goes out to Sakonoko, trying to drive it down the line. Hartke digs it over the net. They go to Louis a second time, and this time he gets it home. And that's 8 for Louis Sakonoko.
Louis got a good swing that time. Pepperdine block was right there. Got a good couple of hands on it, but just could not keep it alive. There's the hands right there, the late closing block. Great effort. The back row by Gomez.
Sakonoko, one of 5 returning starters for Hawaii. They had 12 returnees overall. Kind of amazing when you consider the production that came back from a season ago, a season that saw them win 27 games, tied for 3rd most in program history, but 85% of their point scoring production, kills, aces, blocks, back with this team. Here's the D set to Hartke. How about that reaction by Greenwich? Bump set, Rohr to Louis, hits it into the string. That ended up being a pretty remarkable bump set, although a very tough angle for Louis.
Yeah, it was a tough angle. He tried to do a little bit too much with it, but what a pass. A bump set up there from Adrian Rohr.
Of course, a lot of that production was in the form of Christian Tatrisky, and here to this point, he has, in essence, given way to Kainoa Wade as the primary oppo, and right on cue, Kainoa getting the attempt. Hartke goes cross court, and did that get touched by Hawaii? It's going to be a Hawaii point, and I think Jonathan Winder is going to argue that it was Hawaii that actually touched that ball last before it went out of bounds.
We're discussing it now.
We have a challenge, yes we do. That was sort of odd there, that final little exchange near the pin.
I thought that Hawaii touched it, but we'll see it.
See here, it was that cross-court set there by Hartke, and then who touches it last is the question.
Yeah, Hawaii got it last. Oh, you think it may have gone off the forearm?
Yeah, maybe Barnett's forearm, the last to graze the volleyball. He and Rosenthal end up doing a veritable high five above the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember, the call on the court was a Hawaii point. So I think that's going to be the difficult thing to reverse if they don't see anything that is clear and conclusive. But now we have Mark Nakashima walking across to talk with the R1 Dixon Chun. Be having some communication problems with the headsets. Usually they're able to communicate from across the way. And here we go. It's going to be a Pepperdine point. And so Jonathan Winder wins another replay challenge. Well, again, there are other camera angles that Mark Nakashima has at his disposal. From that angle that we had, the best that we had to offer, there didn't appear to be anything conclusive that would be able to lead the official to overrule the call. But
That's why Charlie's so upset.
He may have another angle that helped him see something more conclusively. Charlie not exactly riding a hot streak in the challenge department here this week. Here's Polomatz on the serve down the line. Sakanoko pops it straight up in the air. War will set him. Another pretty decent set dug up by Polomatz. Here's Hartke, 3 blockers against him. And it doesn't matter right now. He's doing the thing again, C-Mac, the thing we saw in set 4 the other night.
Here's the thing about set 4, doesn't he? He's had 11 kills on Wednesday night. Tonight, he's got, I believe, at least 4 of their 6 points.
That one pulls Rosenthal off the net, goes against the grain, D-set to Wade. Pretty remarkable set, but a good dig there by Gomez. And then the second touch drifts over and right into the wheelhouse of Justin Todd.
Todd did a nice job of staying out of the net. Real easy to follow through on those and hit the cable. But Justin did a nice job of pulling his arm back and not cabling it.
Louis sends it wide. So again, we saw this in multitude the other night when Hawaii seemed to be putting something together. The momentum would stall because of a service error, and there it was again. Great pass though by Sakanoko. Here's War, blocked and roofed. James Eady letting the celebration fly as he was jumping up next to Hartke, but he caught the most of it.
Yeah, that was a really good block. They were over there waiting for War to get it. Forehands across, no holes in that block.
And Barnett sends it long, but I think Pepperdine is going to say that it's in, and we have another challenge from Jonathan Winder.
Let's see if his streak can continue. He's been uncanny.
The game within the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, it looks good. Fast call for Mark Nakashima. He'll pop up right away.
Yeah, I think Winder's going to get another one. Oh, man.
Amazing.
What do you think about the challenge rule? Obviously, the way it's set up here on the men's side, you have 3 challenges to start the match, and you get to keep the challenges if you are successful. You lose them if you are unsuccessful. But do you like the presence of this system?
In general, yes, because they pretty much get it right now. The technology is caught up mostly. I don't know about 3 challenges. I'm thinking the 2 might be better. 3 really lengthens the game. But these 2 teams so close. You know, the other night, 17 ties the first night, 6 lead changes. You know, and 1 set. The next 4th set, 17 ties, 8 lead changes. These 2 teams are so close.
And that one is out. And this time, I don't think we're going to get a challenge here. As Barnett got the ace by virtue of the review, and then proceeds to send the next one out.
Well, it must have been out because he didn't count.
yeah, exactly. He saw it. Jonathan Winder is in the replay challenge zone. Here's Justin Todd. Good pass by Riley. Backside, Hartke blocked. Kept alive by Gomez. They go to Hartke a second time. He gets blocked a second time. Now Gomez on the other side. Pushed down the line. Good save, Wade. Oh, a little confusion on the Hawaii side, though. The advantage Waves. They go to the middle set, and Eady finishes the point. And now Pepperdine, the one creating some space on the scoreboard.
Edie's only had 10 sets tonight, but he's made the most of it. He's got 5 kills.
And here he is now with that somewhat unusual approach on the serve. And did Wade get a touch? No, a net violation is called against Pepperdine, so Hawaii gets the point.
Jonathan Linder not going for the challenge. He's holding back as he knows his player netted, I guess.
So give Kainoa Wade his 12th kill. Hawaii hitting 188 compared to 462 in this 4th frame. Oh, how about that set? Hardkey tried to push it through the hands. Now Sakonoko will set up Wade against a double block, cross court, and down. And Hawaii back within 2. Kainoa Wade getting very much involved here at this juncture of the 4th. The opposite hitters trying to raise the level here.
Exactly. Let's see if Rosenthal serves this ball down the line towards Gomez.
He does, and it is an ace! 3 of a kind for Tread Rosenthal.
Where did I say he was going to serve? I forget. I think I said he was going to serve to Gomez. I'm not positive.
That is now 103 career aces for Rosenthal. Ties him for 8th place with Eyal Zimet. And then forces the overpass. And Adrian Rohr says merci beaucoup, and Hawaii has tied it up at 10. Timeout Waves. It's Hawaii feeling the surge at the moment. From the service line, C-Mac.
He's going right down the line to Gomez, and then again, now time he gets the ace. And here he's going down the line, I think, again. Yep. And gets the ace again. Pepperdine passing with 4 players right now. They put Hartke into the pattern.
Even though that toss was off, still gets Pepperdine out of system, and it winds up a Hawaii point. That's 5 straight points here for the Rainbow Warriors, as Tread Rosenthal putting together a good turn.
And Gomez going to the bench.
Yeah, they bring in Ford Harmon, the redshirt freshman transfer from Long Beach State. A guy who is a little more suited in the serve-receive game. But at 6 feet, a little more diminutive as an outside hitter. Good pass that time by Barnett. Here's Hartke. 2 blockers waiting for him. Dug up along the back line by Sakonoko. Backside, it's Wade. The push dink. Diving save by Riley. Here's Hartke. The set was low, so he 2-hands it down the line. Here's Wade again from off the net. Make it 6 straight points for the Rainbow Warriors.
And I think Lily likes it. What do you think? It's something you don't see in men's volleyball, especially the top 5, top 6, top 7 teams in the country. You do not see 6-7 point runs like this.
Another great serve, another overpass. Rohr couldn't get it down to the floor though, but a free chance here for Hawaii. Middle, Jordan.
And Hawaii starting to flex their muscles. They knew the ball was going to Jordan. They still couldn't stop him.
Another timeout by Pepperdine. The run is Hawaii 7-0. Oh, no one does senior night quite like they do here at the University of Hawaii. Tomorrow night, say aloha to 6 seniors who have left a mark on the Rainbow Warrior basketball program. Let's pack this place for the final home game of the season. Final Big West home game as well. The Rainbow Warriors taking on Long Beach State. Get your tickets at hawaiiathletics.com. Yeah, let's build this one up. Spectacular year for Iran Ganat and the Bows, locking up a top 2 seed in the upcoming Big West Conference tournament. Out of the timeout, Rosenthal trying to keep the pressure going. Barnett gets blocked back. Now they go quick middle, and was there a touch? There was no touch called. It was hit out by Ethan Watson. At least that's the call, but hey, guess what? We got a challenge.
He's got his challenge paddle out. You know why? Because he's got so many left.
He should probably just keep it in his pocket at this point.
He should.
Most coaches leave it at the table, so he sort of has to lunge for it where it's sitting. But at this point, he should probably just keep it in his hand.
Oh, that's funny. He's got so many left, too. He can just wander over there and just...
Well, he's, as mentioned, been so good in the challenge department here this week.
He started with 3. I think he's got 4 left.
Yeah. Let's see if there was a touch.
I don't see one there from that angle.
That's kind of a weight on the challenge there at the net. He's trying to provide the resistance. And it is Ethan Watts in the middle. And do you see a change in the spin or trajectory of the volleyball is the question.
Nope. In fact, volleyball looks like it's rotating in a direction that wouldn't be a spin. Let's see.
So we're going frame by frame here. Again, it's got to be conclusive. They called no touch in real time. Huh. I don't see it.
I don't see a touch. I don't see a change in the spin, change in direction.
But you are the all-seeing
No.
great CMAC.
No, I'm not.
Eagle Eyes Chris. So if you don't see it, then I don't know if it's to be seen.
This is the best angle right there. It doesn't look like touched anything.
Long look at this being taken by Mark Nakashima.
Yeah. Normally he's pretty quick too. Mark's one of the quicker R2s at running that computer.
And this is where perhaps there could be the introduction of, you have shot clocks in basketball, pitch clocks in baseball. Could there be a review clock where if you take longer than 60 seconds and you haven't been able to determine that there is a ruling change required, maybe that's just a wrap in the call stands?
Exactly.
What do you think about that
I
idea?
would like that a lot, yeah. I'm also a fan of the player just saying, hey, I touched it, move on.
Yeah, failed challenge. So Jonathan Winder is human. He was 3 for 3 in challenges prior to that. That is his first failed challenge, and the run continues here for Hawaii.
I noticed the exchange of smiles between Jacob Riley and Kyle Wade there. I think, let's see, yeah, he goes over quickly, gets his paddle.
He's done that a few times.
Is he now down to 2 challenges?
Now down to 2. Jose Gomez, by the way, back in the match for Pepperdine. 14 serving 10. Another great serve. Another ace. Tread Rosenthal is lava hot. He's holding 4 of a kind. Mom Lindsay drinking it in. Hawaii up a handful. Updated baseball score. Cal Poly at 5-2 on the Rainbows over at Les Murakami Stadium in the top of the 9th. So Hawaii running out of outs here. See if there's some manual magic in the bag there for him. Meanwhile, Tread Rosenthal, 4 aces tonight, and Hawaii on a 9-point run. Out of the media timeout, and that one is held on the Hawaii side, but Tread's going to hear it from this crowd. That was an epic run.
They know their volleyball, don't they? These fans, they keep track of the score.
And Tread continues to climb up the rungs of the career service ace ladder at Hawaii. He's now tied for 7th with Spiros Hakas with 104 career aces. How about that back set to War? Good save by Barnett. D set, here he is, hard key. Another crushing blow. And Pepperdine, after all of that, still very much in the mix here in the 4th, down 3.
Absolutely, Harkey with kill number 5.
Kill number 5 in the set, kill number 14 overall tonight. And he will now serve. Crowd trying to get in his ear. Pass by Greenwich is going to drift over the net. Back row, it is Barnett. Off the hands and down. Pepperdine within 2.
Might have been an out serve.
And Hawaii now signals for a timeout. So Pepperdine following up the 9-point Hawaii run, ripping off 3 straight. And now Charlie Wade will talk things over with his guys. Hawaii hitting .333 here in the 4th, just 2 hitting errors. Meanwhile, Pepperdine just 1 hitting error. They're hitting .350. So as you would expect, Pepperdine not going away and not making anything easy for this Rainbow Warrior team. Let's check in with Ryan. Ryan, what you got?
Hey, thanks, Kono. Well, this first set really being an illustration of the evolution and maturity of Trev Rosenthal. We saw that 9-0 run that he went of course, out on the court, but really off the court. He's really taken this team on his shoulders in this 4th set, being much more vocal in the timeouts, talking to his teammates, talking to his coaching staff as well, in between service runs, talking to them about what he's seeing midst of, right before he serves. So Trev Rosenthal does not want to lose this set. Even right now, he continues to exhort his team, the Hawaii coaching staff, talking to their passers primarily in this last time out, saying they've got to do a better job at moving their feet. They're getting too lazy at this point, and they want them to be more efficient on this serve. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Well, Hawaii has played really well in this building, and so there's a lot of pride even in just that. Hawaii 140-16 at home since 2017, and they understand the importance of winning these matches, splitting these non-conference series, especially when you start to project ahead down the road when it comes to selection time.
You know what else? These players do not want to disappoint these fans that showed up. There's that inner spirit and drive and competitiveness that's going on.
And what a crowd it has been here tonight. Hardkey out of the timeout. Down the line, pass by Louis is a beaut. Outside Wade, oh, what a dig, Barnett, but into the stands it goes. Great save and back bump set to Hardkey. It's dug up over and out. That was a remarkable play by Andre Polomax as he had to pick that one out of the front row.
And Hardkey did a nice job of staying back, knowing that he might get a set on the 10-foot line, and he does. And he completes it. Wow.
That is an incredible play by Polomax. The separation is just a digit. Here's War. And he's able to win that mini battle above the tape and get the side and the point back to the Rainbow Warriors. Hawaii up 2-1, trying to avenge a 4-set loss on Wednesday. Pass by Riley. Outside, this is Gomez, cross court and down. Jacob Riley just putting them in position, handling everything that comes his way in serve receive.
Once again, a misplaced serve by Rohr. I think he could have really done a better job of serving the ball to the other side of the court to the 2 other players.
10 kills now for Gomez, but he proceeds to serve it long. And Hawaii up 2. We are coming down to it here in the 4th. Hawaii does not want to have to go to a 5th, of course. Pepperdine needs to go to a 5th if they are to pull off a sweep here in Honolulu. Here is Magnus Hedervik. Good serve, good pass by Gomez. Outside it goes, Barnett got his own cover. Now Hardkey from behind the line, stuff block! Louis Sakanoko shakes his finger, says not that time.
A little bit like Dikembe Mutombo. And then he goes out, takes the line. I think he thought that Hardkey was going to go line, so he went all the way out to the antenna, put his left hand right there on the antenna, get up with a big. And there is another momentum buster, you called him, I think, right?
Yeah, you have Pepperdine sort of on its heels at the moment, getting into these very important late stage points. And the serve goes long. That is service error number 16 for Hawaii. You compare that to 9 for the Waves. And remember when this guy changed the vibe earlier in the match in set 2? 8 in tune. The pass that time. Sakonoko gets the set on the outside. He's blocked, but it goes out. So Louis started that transition, and he finished it. He now has 9 kills. He's 1 kill away from giving Hawaii 4 hitters in double figures.
And that says something about Trent Rosenthal, the way he spread out the offense. Good game plan by Tread.
Here's Wade, 19 serving 16. Oh boy, Barnett pummels that set. 17 serving 19, we creep along.
Just unloaded. Justin Todd worried a little bit too much about the middle attack there. Should have gone all the way out on Barnett.
And Polomak sends it long. And that's service error number 10 for Jonathan Winder's crew. Pepperdine with some lofty hopes and expectations this year, even with some new parts coming off of that fantastic run a year ago where they went to the Final Four. Barnett has to two-hand it over. On 2, Tread decides to set Wade. He does it again. Some mid-air Rosenthal acrobatics.
And no more timeouts for Pepperdine. They cannot slow down this run. But you gotta love the Tread Rosenthal ways he goes up, takes 2 blockers with him, and Kainoa Wade takes advantage.
And then it's just hitting lines for Wade. 21 serving 17. Hardkey off the high ball. Off the block and out.
Almost thought there was 2 contacts by the passers there. I thought that third ball was gonna have to go over.
16th put down there for Hardkey, and here's Barnett. Rosenthal gonna go high and away to Roar, and he's roofed. Edey jumping up next to Hardkey, and those guys have been formidable at the net.
Charlie Wade's got 1 timeout left, and I guess he's gonna use it now.
So now neither team has a timeout here for the remainder of set 4. It is on the rest of the way.
The 2 offenses are got it going on now. Hawaii hitting 345, Pepperdine hitting 370. So it's an offensive show. I think Hawaii's hitting, each team's hitting around, side outing at around 70%.
Yeah, I mean, you look, C-Mac, again at some of the numbers. Hawaii, for the match, is out-hitting Pepperdine 362 to 220. I know the number's a little skewed, perhaps, because of that third set.
Yeah.
But out-digging Pep 42-29. They have a slight edge in blocks. And yet here they are in a very tight one, trying to prevent Pepperdine from forcing a 5th.
Yeah, and you know what? Pepperdine's got a guy in their team named Hardkey. Might have something to say about the conclusion of this match, I'll tell you.
Another area where Pepperdine has had the advantage. They've just been a little cleaner in terms of service errors. Let's check in with Ryan. What's up?
Hey, thanks, Connor. Well, this last timeout, really just Hawaii trying to figure out what they want to do coming out of this timeout. They're in a 2-hitter rotation where the hitters are actually split. And so they have Adrian Roar on the left, and they have Justin Todd coming in for the right front. This is an area at times where this serving passing pattern has caused troubles for Hawaii. They're trying to get Justin Todd slotted in the middle quickly. So watch Hawaii to either go back to Kainoa Wade or the big. Oh, it really depends on the pass, though. But Hawaii just want to make sure they can get the pass so they can get a clean offense. But a lot of options for Hawaii coming out of this timeout. Back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
All comes down to the pass right here.
And it is another Ryan Barnett, who will serve. A good pass by Sakonoko. D-set Wade off the block and out. And a big get that time by Kainoa. His 17th kill.
That ball came down fast. I thought it was a stuff, but apparently it landed just out. Boy, is he competitive too. Look at him.
Hitting 371 tonight. 1 dig away from a double-double, and here's Finn. Serves it long. And there it is again.
Usually Mr. Steady.
Hawaii just keeping that door cracked open here. Time and time again for Pepperdine.
Here comes Zach Chapin, the lefty from Miracosta.
Whether Andrew is a freshman setter at USC.
I thought that was out.
Rosenthal with his track shoes on. Bump set goes to Rohr, down the line and in. An artful swing that time by Adrian Rohr.
Maybe the most important swing all night to get them to 23 right now. Just takes a little bit off it. Nice bump set from Rosenthal. 3 blockers up. Could have been a stuff. Instead, it's a kill because it was such a smart, savvy play.
Here's Rosenthal. What a night he's had from the service line. Great pass, Riley. Back set, Hardkey knuckles it by the block and down. And then he, with a little extra pep in his step, retreats back behind the service line. 21 serving 23.
Both teams out of timeouts. We're going to play to the end.
Crowd trying to be the difference. What a serve by Hardkey. It ends up an overpass. D set, Hardkey, dug up by Rosenthal. Louis sets up Wade from off the playing surface. Deep corner, but long. Oh, he had the idea. It was an open floor back there, but he couldn't quite finesse it in. 22 serving 23. By Greenwich, it's going to drift above the net, and it'll be played onto the Hawaii side. Here's Rohr, pushes it off the block, and into the pin, and it is aloha ball on a Friday night in Manoa.
Oh, that was Pepperdine's point to win. Hawaii stole that one.
And Adrian Rohr on his 20th birthday, serving for the match. Loops it over, diving past Riley. Over on 2 goes Polomax to suspend the finish for at least another moment.
What a gutsy play by Polomax. Gutsy.
They remain standing. Gomez to serve. And it's an ace. And for the 3rd time this week, we are deuce between these two teams.
Both coaches out of timeouts. Pepperdine fans ecstatic.
They're loving it. Another great serve. It forces the overpass, and the Waves have now reached set point and are on the verge of forcing a 5th.
Hawaii fans in shock.
As they sit back down, it's only the Pepperdine fans still standing at the moment. But you see the difference. Hawaii with some inopportune and untimely out serves, and right now Pepperdine making the most of their opportunities at the service line when it matters the most. Are we playing 5 tonight is the question. Pass by Greenwich. Rosenthal gonna go outside. Sakanoko puts it right in the lap of Cole Hardkey, and we are tied again.
Here comes Travell Jordan with his jump float.
Pass there by Riley. Here's Hardkey, blocked and low. Justin Todd jumping up next to Sakanoko. And they rise again here at Banco Arena at Stan Sheriff Center.
They got that point from a jump floater.
Jordan, 2-hand pass Barnett. D-set, Hardkey off the block and out. And Cole Hardkey is amped. And now the fans actually doing a little exercising here at the moment. Standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down again though. 26 all. Served by Watson. Pass by War. Rosenthal outside. Sakonoko blocked and roofed. It is Edie and Polomats serving as the tandem.
Well, Pepperdine fans get to stand up.
And it's set point again for Pep. So for the second time, they'll have a chance to force set 5. Rosenthal goes back to Sakonoko, scrapes the fingertips of the block, and we're tied yet again. And they'll take a few moments to wipe some perspiration off of the Terraflex, and that gives everybody in the building a moment to catch their collective breath. What a fight between these two teams this week.
Third deuce one?
Yep, third set that's gone deuces. You look at that first night, it could have gone either way. Hawaii certainly feeling like they left points out there on the scoreboard. Same thing here tonight in this fourth set. Barnett dinks it down. And it's set point number 3 here for Pepperdine. And Andre Polomats will serve.
Great decision that time for Barnett to dink that ball into the middle of the court where there was no Rainbow Warrior.
Pass by Rohr, and it is chased down by Rosenthal from the back row. Wade, how did they do that?
But Lily Kahumoku and Tani Wade sitting together, and they're loving every second of it. How about that save by Rosenthal? Keep it alive. And what an alert play by Kainoa Wade.
We've seen a couple of those from these two setters. Just remarkable. Louis on the serve. Pass by Riley. Polomats going outside. Hartke able to tool the block. No, they're going to say no touch. Sends it out. It's a Hawaii point, but we will have a challenge here by Jonathan Winder. And you know how you always say you would love for players to admit if they touched it or not. Not in this situation. You're never going to get it in this situation.
That's true.
Let's see. It's Rosenthal and Todd challenging. Oh, that pinky finger.
Yep.
And it is a touch. Very quick review there for Mark Nakashima. So give Pepperdine the point. Give Cole Hartke another kill. And this will now be set point number 4 for the Waves. Showing some grit on both sides of the net here. These two teams. And an out serve by Barnett. 29 all here in the fourth.
You know, Barnett's got that little cutty serve. Normally it's very effective. He doesn't serve that out very often.
Well, Justin Todd had a pretty filthy cutty serve for an ace late in the match last night. That time goes straight down the middle. Riley handles it outside. Gomez bounces it.
Justin Todd just got it to the wrong passer. Jacob Bradley's pretty money back there as a passer.
I mean, you're just hoping it goes literally anywhere else.
Yeah.
And now Edie to serve. Middle set, it is Jordan dug up, but out there by Barnett. And so Travell Jordan on a career night gets to 14 kills. He's well over 500 as a percentage. And now Tread Rosenthal will serve.
Does he have more left in his tank after that 9-point run? What do you think?
Well, he's the guy you would want in this position. Tied at 30 in the fourth. Good serve. Riley has to get the second touch. It's going to be a free ball coming over. Rattles off the tape. So Louis takes on the set. Goes high ball to Wade. Off the fingertip, saved by Barnett. Polomots outside. Gomez two-hands it over. Saved by Tread. Louis on two. Dug up over the net. Greenwich with the touch. Right side, Wade. An absolute powerhouse.
What a rally. There's going to be a challenge, though, I think, by Jonathan Winder again.
And he's going to challenge that there was a net violation committed by Hawaii during that point. And this crowd, which is just so wound up at the moment and so ready to let it go and let loose. You hear a smattering of boos because this is feeling inconvenient for them here at this point with the challenges.
I think he was challenging the fact that Kainoa Wade went into the net and went under before the ball was a kill. Before the play was over, we'll see.
What a rally that was.
I'm pretty sure that was the point, was the last particular play.
Two teams that have legitimate Final Four and even beyond that national championship aspirations.
And guess what? Pepperdine is going to get better next year. They got a Serbian and a Czech coming in that are very, very good players.
And for the first time in his tenure as head coach at Pepperdine, Jonathan Winder is going to have a setter for a second season.
That's right.
Andre Polomot's fourth new setter in 4 years now atop this program for Winder. You know, on the other side, it's so interesting you talk about Tread Rosenthal and all of his experience. Tonight is Adrian Ward's 20th birthday, his sophomore outside hitter. Rosenthal's still younger than him. Tread Rosenthal, third-year starter, is still 19 years of age.
That's right.
And it's a Hawaii point. There was no net. That was called. And so it's aloha ball again. Fourth chance to seal the deal here for Hawaii. And they are all standing up. Pepperdine fans, Hawaii fans alike. Each team with a challenge left. Rosenthal amid the Viking clap. Skips it off the tape. The pass there by Barnett. Outside, Gomez, no blockers up. The kick saved, but only for a moment by Wade. There was nobody challenging at the net for Hawaii. And we're tied yet once more.
I'm not sure why they backed off there. That set was pretty good.
Official attendance numbers, 8,440 tickets issued, 7,247 through the turnstiles.
And every one of them got their money's worth. What do you think?
Of course, next week, you got the Outrigger Invitational. And the last match of that tournament against UCLA, already a sellout. Hardkey, pass by Greenwich. Backside War. Some high cheddar in the direction of Hardkey. And they're standing up again.
How about Greenwich in that dig? Was that something else? He just hung in there right in the... He was right in the... there's War finishing right there, giving it to Hardkey. But before that, Hardkey had given it to Greenwich, and Greenwich popped it up nicely.
Well, career night for Travell Jordan in the front row. Career night for Quentin Greenwich in the back row. 14 digs, a new high as a Rainbow Warrior. And yeah, you're right. In serve receive right there, coming up big time clutch.
Let's see if Hawaii can serve anybody except Jacob Riley.
32 serving 31. Aloha ball for the match. It crawls over. Polomots goes outside. Gomez! That was ferocious.
He hits it hard and harder.
He's a whole other form of a Cuban missile.
He is. He is.
Good pass by War. Middle set, Jordan again. He has been piping hot all night long. And he will retreat back to serve on Aloha ball.
I'm going to give a lot of credit to Adrian Rohr there in that pass because Gomez put up a really good serve.
Can they finish the deal? Polomatz, D set, hard key, 3 blockers up, and look out, put on your helmets. Travell Jordan had to make a business decision there.
He did, yeah. Oh my goodness. Hartke doing just like he did on Wednesday night.
He's up to 20 kills on 54 attempts. The serve by Watson. Pass by Sakonoko. Outside Louis, off the hands and into the hands of C-Mac. Aloha ball again for the 7th time. This is incredible. Are you not entertained?
Unbelievable.
Wade on the serve. Riley pops it straight up. Here's Hartke from behind the line. Block back Riley, the cover. Outside. The blocking roof! And this one is over. Hawaii avenges a loss 2 nights ago to take down the Waves in 4. And how about in set 4? 35-33, but hold the phone. Jonathan Winder is issuing a challenge.
He has 1 challenge left and he's using it. I believe it's for a net violation maybe.
Well, you can't take him home with you, and so why not try to challenge the point? It does make things a little more anticlimactic potentially,
for
but
sure.
If he somehow wins this, he keeps his team alive.
That's why I like the 2 challenges rather than 3. 3 can really make the night long. I mean, we're creeping up on 3 hours as it is.
Yeah, we went just over 3 hours the other night for a 4-setter. All right, here we go. The epic conclusion? No, it is not over. Another challenge win for Winder. A net violation against Hawaii, and we are tied at 34.
Oh my goodness, I did not see that coming. It gets more exciting.
Okay, overturn call. This set.
Well, our net cam kind of gotten toppled over a little bit with all the action, so we didn't actually have our ability to show the replay. That's what it looks like, so, you know. .34 all. And we didn't get the whistle yet. Polomatz, a little bit of a false start. Well, hey, you got to give Jonathan Winder credit. Fighting against the overwhelming celebration that was taking place in the building. He challenged it and won yet another challenge.
And that net violation was not with the hands on the cable. It was with the shirt on the way down.
Polomatz to serve. Down the line it goes. Sakonoko with a good pass. D set off the mark to Wade, but it's going to be a chase down situation for Polomatz. Joust above the net. Hawaii will take control. Rosenthal blocked back as he tried to swing on 2. Swings on 2 again!
Can this get any more exciting?
Can this ever end? We're going to have another challenge here from Jonathan Winder. And I'm not sure if he's challenging one of the touches for Hawaii.
If he wins this challenge, he'll have set point. If he loses the challenge, Hawaii will have set match point.
Man, Mark Nakashima, he's earning that paycheck tonight. So they are challenging that Hawaii committed a back row attacker violation, was the announcement here in the building. And Mark Nagashima already coming to a conclusion. And it's a Hawaii point. Charlie Wade saying no, there was no violation. It was off of the platform. Whatever touch was in question there for Jonathan Winder. And they're standing, and it's Aloha ball. Aloha ball for the 8th time. Sakanoko to serve for the match. What a pass there by Gomez. Right side, it is Barnett. Dug up, one-hand style Greenwich. Here's Roar for the win. Can't get it down. Scramble though, Hartke. Back set. Joust above the tape. It stays on the Hawaii side. Rosenthal with the finisher. And at long last, Hawaii victorious in 4. And a marathon 4th set for the books.
Man. At least 7,000 fans got their money's worth tonight. And guess what? Number 1 UCLA is coming in next week for the outrigger. It's going to get louder, crazier, and a fuller arena because I think it's sold out, isn't it?
It's already being called a sellout. Next up for Hawaii is the Outrigger Invitational coming up this week. But what a battle of these two longtime rivals and a couple of potential juggernauts within the college volleyball landscape. 36-34 in that 4th and final set as Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. There were all kinds of tremendous individual performances tonight. Cole Hartke, though, did it again. 20 kills, 236 hitting percentage, 4 blocks, 3 digs, and an assist. Travell Jordan went career, 15 kills, hit 600, handful of blocks, and a dig. You can give a shout out to several Hawaii players, including the career high 15 digs for Quentin Greenwich as a Rainbow Warrior. And how about 4 players, including that guy, Trey Jordan, in double-figure kills for Hawaii?
Tremendous, tremendous. And how about Quentin Greenwich getting those digs in key moments? Passed great tonight, but, you know, I was really impressed with the way he dug the ball. It gave Hawaii another chance. Hawaii with 48 digs on the night to Pepperdine's 33.
I mean, it was just an awesome display of competitive fire. Neither team wanted to see this thing end. And the Waves giving a little aloha to the fans. I think a lot of the fans appreciated certainly the effort of this Pepperdine squad. It was great to see Aiden Toon out there affecting this match and making the impact as a guy who's been with the program for 4 years. But in the end, Hawaii gets the win. They split the series with Pepperdine, and they pull out what was just a sensational and wondrous 4th set marathon. Scott Robbs is with Charlie Wade. Scott.
Hey, thanks a lot, Kanoa, Coach. Congratulations. That was thoroughly entertaining. That was some high-level volleyball.
Yeah, it really was. First of all, you got to love the crowd coming out here on Friday night. Really kind of pushed us through this, and something we're never going to take for granted. We put on a good show. You know, like I said, I think we're usually really good, or sometimes pretty good, and sometimes pretty good ain't good enough. So we got to be really good more often. I also think we got to invest in the highest technology for the replay challenge system. I mean, just the time alone. Heck, it's 10 o'clock at night and 30 minutes of challenges alone. And I don't think I've ever seen a team get a 5-point swing at least in that 4th set. But the technology's out there. Hopefully we can get some of that in. But to your point, really high-level stuff, both sides. Hartke was impressive over there. And our guys gutted it out. You know, it was pretty clean down the stretch, and got to be proud to come back and pull out a match like that and close out that set.
You know, one guy that played high level all night, Travell Jordan, career high night for him. He was outstanding.
Yeah, really impressive. You know, he's just kind of coming into his own after the injury where he's out a little bit. Now he's getting stronger. If you notice, we've kind of spun it and got him across the front a little bit more, and it's paying dividends for sure.
All right, now you get a couple of days off, and of course the outrigger, which would be, led by UCLA. Your thoughts heading into next week?
Yeah, I mean, it's the premier event in collegiate men's volleyball, and 3 really good teams coming in. It'll be really good volleyball every night.
Enjoy it. Have a good night.
Thank you. Aloha.
Back to you, Kanoa.
Charlie suggesting that the challenge system can be somewhat challenging at times, but in the end, despite an incredible challenge from Pepperdine for the second straight evening, it is Hawaii victorious and improving to 15-2 on the season. The outrigger coming up. Don't forget about the post-game show also coming up, but for now, for Chris